What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel, and today we have some very exciting news to discuss. As per this morning's Nintendo Direct, we just got the reveal for The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, the brand new Zelda game releasing in September 26th of this year. Now, this was a very exciting announcement, as I was not expecting a new Zelda game to be revealed at this Nintendo Direct. I was hoping we would get some sort of Zelda announcement of some kind, but I was expecting something more along the lines of a remake, remaster, or re-release akin to Twilight Princess HD or Wind Waker HD, which, side note, I'm still surprised we haven't gotten those for the Switch, and with the new console on the horizon, I'm honestly not sure if we ever will, which is a bit of a disappointment, but that's neither here nor there, because what's important is we're actually getting a new Zelda game. This is a new game. This is not a remake. This is not a remaster, and this is exciting. I was not expecting a new Zelda game. Now, it is definitely a more smaller scale title. It's nothing crazy big. I doubt it's going to be some 200-hour plus game like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom was, but that's okay. I don't need this to be a big, massive, like, new 3D Zelda game. I'm completely content with this being a smaller scale 2D Zelda game while we wait for the next big Zelda game, presumably releasing with the new console. I doubt we're going to hear anything about that until at least 2025, maybe 2026. But I digress. What about Echoes of Wisdom? What is this game about? Well, surprisingly enough, it's about Zelda. The Legend of Zelda, actually about Zelda for once. Go figure. But jokes aside, this is actually the first time that we are getting a fully playable Zelda in the Zelda game. And it's not even like that she's a playable Zelda in like a separate story mode or something. This is the main story. Playing Zelda is the main story mode. Now I'm curious if they would do a New Game Plus Master Quest style like option once you beat the main game, that you would then unlock Link's quest and you can play as Link throughout the game. I don't think they need to do that. I'm completely content with just playing Zelda in this game, but I think it would be a cute little option if they added it anyways. It would also be a cute reference to Skyward Sword, how they initially wanted to have a Zelda quest after you beat the main game with Link. So it'd be a nice little callback if they did that. While the game looks to be a bit of a return to form to classic 2D Zelda, I don't think that will be reflected in the gameplay. In fact, as they talked about in the trailer, it seems to be that they're going to be sticking with the gameplay philosophy that was established in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. This sort of open-ended gameplay, not open world. This game will probably not be open world. I'm not expecting that. But what I am saying is that while the world design, the level design will probably be more akin to a linear classic 2D Zelda, the gameplay design will be more open-ended like Breath of the Wild, where, as we're seeing in the trailer, Zelda gets access to this magic wand provided to her by what appears to be the new companion of the game, this little fairy named Tri. She gets access to this magic wand, and then Zelda uses it to create objects in the world. You can find objects in the world that you can essentially copy and paste with the wand. You find like a table or a bed, and you copy it, and then you can paste it anywhere. You can go to up to a wall, and you can place a table, and then you can jump on the table, which will then allow you to jump over the wall. And it's really cool. It seems to be very open-ended. You can kind of just do whatever you want. They even seem to imply that you can place any item anywhere, wherever you want, that there's not really any restrictions to that. It doesn't seem to be tied to a magic meter or like on a cooldown or anything. I imagine there will be some restrictions just to make sure that the game functions and doesn't like have a bunch of glitches in it. So I'm sure there will probably be some sort of restrictions here or there, but I think generally you'll be able to place pretty much anything anywhere. Not only are you able to copy and paste items, you're even able to copy and paste monsters, which is really cute. I like this idea that since Zelda won't exactly be doing combat traditionally, using like a sword and shield like Link does, she sort of just uses magic, summons monsters, or you can summon a boulder and then pick up the boulder and throw it at a monster to deal damage. You seem to be able to approach combat and puzzles sort of in your own way, but in a way that's very unique to Zelda herself, and I really appreciate that. I think this is a very good call. I think this is probably the best idea they could have done following Tears of the Kingdom. It seems that they're trying to do a little bit of a return to form, giving us more traditional world, not just world, but even storytelling of like OG classic Zelda games where, you know, it's Link and Zelda versus Ganon with the Triforces, and you're in, you know, Hyrule Kingdom, and it seems very, very similar to that. You even have a companion in this game, it appears. So it's very much like OG Zelda in that regard. but it's still pushing new boundaries, giving us a playable Princess Zelda, something that we've never seen before, something we've always been wanting to see in the series, as well as also having that open-ended gameplay design that Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild established, something that Nintendo seems very keen on maintaining with modern Zelda going forward. Now we're gonna have, I'm assuming, more linear dungeon design and more linear like world design. I think the actual progression throughout Hyrule Field will be very much like OG Zelda, where it's sort of open linear, where you have like Hyrule Field and you can kind of explore Hyrule Field itself. But when you need to actually progress through the story, you have to go through one dungeon and then the next dungeon and the next dungeon with little variance there. But I think this game's going to maintain the sort of Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom sort of open-endedness by allowing us to approach these linear dungeons on our own way. While I don't think there's any current confirmation about how open-ended the world will be, I am curious if technically there would be a way to break the linear structure and actually complete certain dungeons in different orders. I don't necessarily need this game to be a full-scale open world game. It doesn't have to be, and it doesn't seem to be that way. But this does seem to be a game that is trying to better bridge the gap between the big open world games of Breath of the Wild and a more lower scale 2D Zelda game that older fans are more familiar with. With that being said, I'm really excited. I think the game looks really cute, it's very charming, and I'm very excited to have an actual new Zelda game to look forward to, rather than just a remake or a re-release or a port. And it's also nice to finally be stepping away from the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom art direction. Don't get me wrong, I love the way those games look, I love those games, but we've been stuck in the same sort of design of those games for 10 years. I mean, Breath of the Wild, back when it was just Zelda for the Wii U, was first revealed in 2013, and Tears of the Kingdom was released last year in 2023. So as much as I love the way those games look, I am happy to look forward to a new Zelda game that isn't a remake or a re-release, that is stepping away from that kind of visual identity, and that makes me happy. So that's about it for me for now, but what about you? How do you feel? Are you happy with this game? Do you think it looks good? Are you excited? Or do you think the game's not your cup of tea? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below, and have a good day. See ya.